Hey everyone, today Antique Farmhouse inspired spring DIYs. And by the way, if you're new here, I'm Tonya. Welcome to my channel, and I do hope that you all like, share, and subscribe. Now for our first DIY, I'm going to be taking one of the moss bunnies from Dollar Tree, some Rust-Oleum, white linen chalk paint, and some plaster of Paris. And I'm just going to put a couple scoops of that plaster of Paris in my cup and then mix the chalk paint in with it. And you just want it to be sort of like the pancake batter texture. And I'm just gonna put a really thick coat of this on the moss bunny. And I do probably a couple coats of this on there. I don't show you all that painting. And then I'm just gonna take some of the silver lining chalk paint and I'll be dabbing that on top of this. And once this dries, everyone, it really has the look of like a concrete little bunny. So that's a really quick and simple technique that if you would like to try that one, I think you'll be happy with the results because it turned out really great. Now I'm going to be taking some White Swan by the DIY paint, and I'm going to be taking one of the little plaques from Dollar Tree that you can get in the Crafter Square section, and just have to put one coat of paint on here. The DIY paint covers so well. I'm really enjoying that paint. I don't use it on everything, but some things. Now I'm using this infusible interfacing that I picked up at Dollar Tree. Now everyone, I'm getting ready to make a head of cabbage, believe it or not, out of this paper. But I needed it to have a little bit of thickness. So I thought that I was going to be using this design. So I was trying to get the darker side, but I did end up painting over this. And you're just going to want to press this on to your paper. And the rough edge is the edge that goes down. Now this doesn't permanently stick, but it sticks long enough for you to be able to cut out the little leaf layers of your cabbage head. But everyone, this could not have been cuter. And like I said, this was an Antique Farmhouse inspired DIY. These were not dupes. I just kind of found some things on there that I really liked. So I just wanted to make my version of them. And I thought this little bunny with the head of cabbage was just too cute. Now I'm using my little pinking shears there, and that was just to get some movement around the leaves to kind of make them look a little bit more realistic. And you can see where I put that infusible interfacing on there, it made these stiff. Now I got this foam egg at Dollar Tree, and this worked perfect for the center of this little head of cabbage. And I really ended up liking it the way it was without the paint, but because the one on the Antique Farmhouse had the paint on it, I went ahead and painted mine. But you could leave this just like it is because either way was really, really cute. Now you can see what I'm doing. I got the egg covered, and now I'm just kind of folding these little layers over just so I can shape what's gonna look like the leaf part of the cabbage leaf. And you just keep layering those around. But everyone, this was a really fun one. And I was really surprised how much it really did look like a head of cabbage when I got it done. So this was definitely a fun and creative one. So if you want something a little different in your decor, this is definitely one to give a try. But everyone, these are all Antique Farmhouse inspired DIYs today. Remember, they're not dupes, they're just inspired by, so I got really creative. But I really enjoyed these. They have kind of a farmhouse look to them, and I think you're gonna enjoy them all. So let me know what you think of these in the comments below. Now here are some greens, and I just mixed up whatever greens that I could get. Now these greens are not as bright off camera, so you'll just kind of have to play with the greens that you want your head of cabbage to look like. And you can see there I kind of drew in some little lines. I was just trying to do whatever I could to just pull that in, and I got it to the way that I liked it, and I popped it on there. And then I decided just to tear a few of the little leaves and make it look more like the little cabbage leaves. And I don't think it couldn't have been cuter. I do dab just a little bit of off-white paint on there just to bring out a little bit more of the texture in the little cabbage head. And then I had this fabric because the ribbon that they had put on the little bunny was this blue color. But everyone, look how close that looks to like a little concrete bunny. And here I am adding a little bit of texture. But everyone, here it is displayed. And I don't know about you, but I think it's just so cute. I think it turned out great. Now for our next DIY, I had seen these little eggs on there that were wrapped in the book pages, but that's not the best part of this DIY. I was just gonna go ahead and make the little eggs and put them in a really cute little glass bowl. But then I had one more moss bunny and I just could not help myself. I ended up creating a book page bunny, and it turned out absolutely so adorable. I hope that you enjoy this one. It's coming up right after we get done with these eggs. But the eggs, you could see, were really simple to do. I just glued the little book pages on there, added some greenery and some rope twine, and then I had that really cute little bowl that I had picked up at a thrift store a couple of years ago. But here I am, I'm just putting glue all over this other little moss bunny, and this was the last one that I had in my craft stash. And I decided I was gonna need a whole lot of glue, which you will need a lot of glue on this design. And really just rub that in. Took some of that tissue paper because I really needed to get this covered as much as possible with just as much little thin paper, because I knew that was gonna help my book pages to glue on top of this. And then I decided, everyone, that I wanted to make this bunny have extra long ears. So I just took some foil and just twisted it around and just kind of crunched it up and just made these really fun shaped little bunny ears. And this absolutely could not have been cuter. So this was definitely one if you just want to get in there and get messy one day when you're creating and have fun. I think it was raining the day that I was actually doing this. So I was just in the craft room just playing and having fun. And like I said, you can make these ears pretty much any shape that you want them to be when you're using this foil like this. One good thing about the foil is it really just squeezes on there, and then that little bit of glue that you have underneath, it will glue the foil right to the bunny. And then I go ahead and just put a whole bunch more of the Elmer's glue on there. And I wanted to do that same technique. I wanted to just keep adding that tissue paper on there until I can get everything covered really well. And now my book pages are going to be able to stick to this a lot better. And I just seemed like that tissue paper added that little extra something. And once I got all the tissue paper on there, I really just took a bunch of glue and just kind of went all over the whole thing. Now I'm gonna make some little feet. Now we're not gonna really see these feet, but what I'm gonna do with the eggs is why I'm making the bunny feet. And when you see this completely done, it'll all come together. So just bear with me on this one. You're gonna love how this turns out. Now I'm adding on some arms. I did the same technique and just popped them on there and just put glue everywhere on this. And once you get that glue on there, everyone, you can really start maneuvering it. It's like the glue really helps to shape everything. Now you just take strips of book pages, and it does not matter how you put these on. Just tear some strips and just start gluing them any which way that you want the pages to be on this. And I just started on the face and the ears. And like I said, it was a really rainy day and I was just having fun playing with this one. And you can see I'm coming along really well and just gluing as many of those little pages as I can. So this would take you a few minutes. I think I even had a movie on I was watching while I was doing this. And now you can see why the feet are there. And we're gonna end up taking this and adding these eggs to it. And this turned out so adorable, everyone. You can see I put the little rope twine bow around her neck, and then I'm just gonna put some greenery in her other arm, and she just looks like she's been decorating all of her little eggs for Easter. But I thought this one was fun, and I really like the book pages. I think that looks great with pretty much any decor style. So this was definitely a fun one. Now I decided, I think this is called Cherry Picked. It's a DIY paint, and I just really love this. It's like a deep Merlot wine kind of color, and I thought this looked so beautiful with these book pages. So that's what I went with, and I really like how this design turned out. So this one's definitely a keeper for me on doing fun things with these book pages. And this was all inspired from the book page eggs on the Antique Farmhouse. So I ended up just finishing this design off by putting all the little eggs around the bunny. And here in a moment, I'll have it displayed for you so you can see how she turned out. And isn't she adorable? I thought that turned out just too cute. So I hope this one gives you some inspiration to play with some of those book pages. And the ears, I love how they turned out by adding the foil to that bunny. Now for our next DIY, I had already had this little plastic egg that I had cut the little broken shape around the edges out, and I taped it up with some painter's tape, and I'm just gonna take and cover this with some of that white swan paint. And what I'm gonna make is just a little egg that I can put a few little flowers in. And then I had this bunny in my craft stash, and they had something similar to this on the Antique Farmhouse. And I just wanted to make this completely white. I thought this looked great with the neutral decor. And then I just took that little egg and just popped that moss in there, and I just thought the little eggshell was the cutest thing. And then I just picked up some florals that I had in my craft stash and popped those in there. And I just put this together and just made a really simple little setting out of this one. And oh, I did end up adding a little piece of round wood to the bottom and added that cherry picked color there from the DIY paint. You really can't see that real well, but it give it a nice base. But isn't this just the sweetest little thing? I thought that made the cutest little idea to put an arrangement of florals in. Now for our next design, they did have some bunnies on there that were similar to this look, but I had this little glass vase, and then I remembered I had a few more of the foam eggs, and I thought, I think I can make a bunny out of this. So I got my clay out, and I just formed some little bunny arms and feet and a little bunny tail and some ears. And everyone, I don't use that clay that often, but I just played with it and kind of shaped it into what I wanted it to look like, and then used my E6000. And I ended up painting this with some different colors, but it really turned out cute, and it just made one of those cute little pieces that you could set up in your vignette or on a shelf somewhere. Now I did take some toothpicks and hot glue in there, and that's how I attached these ears. And that seemed to hold really well. Everything's still holding together great. Just make sure you get your ears thick enough at the base part that the toothpick doesn't poke out the back part. But the toothpick worked great. I was able to bend the ears and kind of get them the shape that I wanted. And now I'm going to take that color called Burlap by DIY Paint and just cover the glass and all of the parts of the bunny. And then I just kind of got a little crazy with my colors on this one, and I added some, I think it was a little bit of that Patina gold, and then I took the DIY black wax and brushed on there. I was really trying to get kind of that rusty kind of look on this one, and when you do that, it kind of helps hide the imperfections of the clay. But once I got this one done, I really enjoyed how it turned out. But it was just a fun idea to do with these little glass vases. And I think that I might have picked these little glass vases up at TJ Maxx. Now here is the antique gold patina, and I just went all over with this. I love this by that DIY paint. It seems like it looks different no matter what you do with it in the different colors that you have on the undertone. But I was really loving how that was turning out, and I just think it turned out adorable. So you'll have to let me know what you think of this one. Now for our next DIY, this was also another antique inspired one. I had this little white bunny from a thrift store, and then those are the little foam bunnies from Dollar Tree. And if you have any of the little ceramic bunnies like I did, this was a really quick and simple DIY, everyone. All I had to do was hot glue those little foam bunnies on there, and I got really lucky how much the little mama bunny looked like the bunnies from Dollar Tree. But once I got that all painted up really nice, I decided just to leave it white because I just thought it turned out so pretty. And look at this, it made just a quick and simple, really beautiful little Easter and spring decor piece. Now, I had a few more of those little foam bunnies left, so I thought I'd make a tiny little planner. And like I said, this one would look great on a tier tray or just in a little vignette. But I had some of these little peat moss containers in my crafts, and I thought I would cut that down, and I really wanted the bunnies to be the main focus. So I really cut that down kind of low so it would be kind of underneath the body part there of the bunny. And it only took 4 of these little foam bunnies, but I'm gonna do another technique that makes these look like rock or concrete. And I thought this turned out so pretty. I did a couple different types of greenery. I'm using the white swan and that old and gray patina from DIY paint. And this just could not have been cuter. So definitely this would be a nice little one for your vignette or your tier tray. And that old and gray patina, it works really well to kind of get that look of the concrete. Sorry everyone, I'm out in my studio and the prettiest little red bird just popped up on my windowsill. If I would have had my camera, I would have turned it around for you. And you can see already how that's really starting to look like rock or stone or concrete. I mean, it just kind of has that look of all those elements. And I took that black wax and really wiped that all around there. And I love that. Now I popped that succulent in there just to show you, but then I had all this little greenery. And so I just wanted to pop that in there. And I thought it turned out so pretty. Now for our next DIY, I'm gonna be taking one of those bunnies off of that little bunny sign from Dollar Tree. And I saw this one on the Antique Farmhouse also, and I thought this was really cute. Love those wood carrots that they got in this year at Dollar Tree. So I really had to clean this off good. It's really a lot easier if you can take this out and use a palm sander on it, but I ended up just scraping it because like I said, it was rainy this day, but I got it cleaned up really well. And I took some more of that white swan, just popped that on there. That paint really does cover well. And I did the front and the back of this design. And here's one of those great little carrots that they have now at Dollar Tree. I thought these were so pretty. I did buy several of these. They also have some larger ones that look like eggs. And I am saving those to use for some pumpkins maybe in the fall. So but definitely if you see the larger ones, those are definitely worth getting because they're going to make great little pumpkins too. Now I'm going to take and I added some of that heather green on there, and then I'm taking some of this beige color, and I ended up using a piece of sandpaper, just anything with texture, just to kind of dab that on there. I just kind of like the way that looked with that sandpaper, and then I just kind of scratched it across there. And then I took a little bit of the heather green, and that was the Dollar Tree paint, that heather green. I really like that green. I think it's a really pretty color. It's very watery, so it doesn't cover well. But everyone, look how adorable this turned out. I thought this made another just really cute spring and Easter decor piece. Well, everyone, that's it for today's DIYs. I hope you enjoyed these, and if so, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you soon.